I can tell you yes through just one example, the funeral booklets. Okay, which as you know, it is now a very, very deep Virgin Islands tradition that is actually spread to other islands in the Caribbean and now even on the mainland. Okay, because I mean, most services I went to on the mainland, you might get a little bookmark or a little
That's
the little
right.
blessing card and everything else. And
Hmm.
when I walked into St. Thomas Graphics, that was one of the things that they were doing. It's like they were doing like two or three a week of these
And
books,
what
and it's like um, Judy. It was Dick. Sorry, it was Dick who told me the history behind how those books came to be. He said this was not a tradition and everything else here in the Virgin Islands. He said every once in a while you would see a book for a dignitary. He credited the jump, the fact that everybody now needed a funeral book, history of their loved one's life, to the passing of Governor Cyril King. Basically, very rarely would a book come in, but after the Cyril King book, and they did it with gold embossing and everything else, real gold ink with real gold in it, and his whole write up, his life story and everything like that. It was like almost after that, almost overnight, they said people started coming in. They wanted books done. So it was like first there was people in the higher at the higher echelons of society, but by the time I got to St. Thomas Rapids, it was like the common man needed a book, and Judy put together price points where basically you could get something that was 4 pages, 8 pages, 16 pages, etc. And tributes started becoming a thing too, and now that started driving up the point for people who really wanted a history of the loved ones. And but the addition of the tributes now, while it increased the size of the book and increased business, also had the historical context that we were actually writing down what other people, even some people peripherally who barely even knew them, thought about that individual in the community. I guess to a certain extent now you have that with Facebook, with the with those type of memorial pages or whatnot. But I mean, this was the way that we were doing. This was the way the whole community. It turned out that now the whole community could tell could tell the surviving members of the family just how much this person meant to them. And it's like, I mean, we could see healing occurring. Well, people were sitting down in graphics because a lot of these tributes would come straight to St. Thomas Graphics. And so when the people were proofing their booklet before press, a lot of times that was the first time some of these people were even seeing some of these tributes. And you could actually physically see the healing. Some people, yeah, some people would get the tears, but others would smile and laugh at the memory of the comment and things like that. And so yes, Judy had been talking from a long time about how do we keep these things, how do we get these things preserved, because this is people's entire lives that we're making a record of.